You guys, spring is finally here and it couldn't come any sooner. I have been itching for some warm weather and it's finally here. So I know I'm a little late to the spring fragrances party, but I couldn't film it until it really felt like spring. And where I live, it's cold for a lot longer than it is warm. So now that it's finally warming up and the sun is shining and the birds are chirping, it really feels like spring, and it's been that way for like a couple weeks now. So I'm really feeling the spring vibes, and I'm ready to bring you my top 5 niche fragrances for spring. And these are the ones that I've been reaching for the most. These are in order from 5 to 1. So make sure you stay tuned until the very end so that you see what my number 1 pick is. And let's dive right into it. On my number 5 spot, I have from the Christian Dior Private Collection, Gris Dior. This fragrance smells obviously like oak moss. We all know this is an oak moss and patchouli fragrance. It has oak moss, it has rose. The rose is powdery and lipsticky. It's like a powdery scent. It's powdery with oak moss, and it gives you this feeling of a rainfall and like wet earth, which is really beautiful. Not dirt, like a forest floor. It smells mossy and it smells like dewdrops. It smells like a springtime rainfall. And it's the perfect scent, I find, for that transitional period when it's starting to get a little bit warmer. You know, it's always raining, a little bit cloudy. Like, this is the perfect fragrance for a cloudy day. That's when I reach for it. And it's a really sophisticated scent. It's dry, it's a little powdery, really elegant. I wear it to work all the time and I get compliments on it all the time. A lot of my coworkers have already asked me where to get it, and they've put it on their wish list to get for a birthday. So this has been a huge hit and a compliment getter, and it's a very, very likable fragrance. It's not too powerful and it doesn't apparently project much according to some people, but it projects just fine for me. I just make sure to spray at least 12 times. So that is why I got the big bottle. On the number 4 spot, we have Menthe Fraîche, and this is from Healy. This is a really beautiful mint-based fragrance. It has some tea in there as well, some freesia, bergamot. It really smells like a crushed up mint leaf, like when you're making a mojito and you're chewing some spearmint, like juicy fruit gum. So you're drinking your mojito and you're also chewing your gum for whatever reason it may be. That's what this smells like. It is such an uplifting morning fragrance that I just like to spray all over myself in the morning, and it just gives you that extra little zing that I need to wake up when it's super early out. This one is such a hit, and I just recommend it to everyone for like a really unique fresh scent. So that is on number 4. And this one and the next one I purchased from Raffinade Perfumery, which is my go-to for niche fragrances. And I asked them to give you guys a bit of a discount. So I do have a 10% off promo code, and it's The Scented. It's linked in the description as well. So that's not an affiliate code or anything. I just wanted to make the niche fragrances a little bit more attainable for you guys, and I wanted to share some of my favorites. So that being said, on number 3 is Fleur de Bamboo. And this is how I found Raffinade Perfumery. I purchased Fleur de Bamboo from them, and I can't get enough of it. Look how much I've already used up. I just spray and spray and spray. It's so yummy. It has this banana-esque sweetness. It also has a tea note, lotus. It's a little bit watery smelling, like fresh, watery, sweet, and very smooth. There's no sharp facets here at all. It's just a really uplifting, sweet, pleasant fragrance. And I think that the brand Il Profumo is really underrated. I think they have some really beautiful fragrances, and this is my favorite one from that house. So that's Fleur de Bamboo. And I forgot to mention that it also has a bamboo note, which is what adds that watery freshness. I'm not going to get more in depth into it, but if you guys want to check out a full review, I'm going to link it up at the top because I went in depth when I first got this fragrance. So that's linked for you. And we're moving quickly, and we are on the number 2 spot. This fragrance is a stunner. This is a stunner like no other. This is Roja Essence de Parfum 51. I have been loving this. I have just been blindly reaching for this day in and day out. And I love the fine mist of the sprayer. Like, can you guys just look? I don't know if you can see that, but the way that the sprayer is, it's like the finest mist I've ever seen. It's like the quarter of a size of a regular spray droplet. So it gets every little part of you. in the most delicate way, in the most luxurious way. It's so smooth. It smells beautifully sweet and smooth and creamy. It has a little bit of a spiciness to it. So this is all about white florals. If you like white florals, this is a little bit of a different take on it because it has a lot of other supporting notes. So you definitely get your lily, tuberose, gardenia, orange blossom. There's lily of the valley. There's so many different florals and they all work perfectly together. This is flawlessly blended. There's also a really beautiful sweet raspberry note that I pick out, and it smells almost like a freeze-dried raspberry, like this delicate, crumbly, sweet raspberry. That's what I get here, as well as some nice powdery vanilla. It is just like a fragrance like no other. I honestly have never tried anything like this before. I wore it on a day when I was going to get my lashes done, and it was like the brightest, sunniest day ever. I dressed up nice. I felt like a queen that day. I wore this fragrance and it just really leveled me up. Like I felt so good wearing this. So this is on my number 2 spot, and yeah, I just can't stop wearing it. So now we're down to our final one. This is my number 1 fragrance. This is my number 1 reach for spring, and as much as I love all of the other ones, this one is still my baby and it's still my number 1, and I'm sure you guys already guessed by now. It is by Rideau Bal d'Afrique. This is my favorite fragrance. You guys know it. I've talked about it so many times now. I don't want to get too in depth because I've done a full review, so I'll link that, but this is the happiest scent in the world. It makes me happy and uplifted. It's sweet. It has a sweet vetiver note. It's very playful. It's very like cheerful and bright, and like I said, it smells like the color orange to me. It has vetiver, but for people who are cautious and uncomfortable with vetiver, this is still perfect because it doesn't have this like rootiness and it's not masculine. It's perfectly unisex. In fact, I feel like it's more feminine leaning. It's a very fresh scent. Like it has these florals. It has the African marigold. It has the orange blossom, jasmine, but it also has amber and musk and that rich vetiver note, and just the way that everything combines makes a really unique scent. I think this is a very, very unique scent. So definitely worth checking out, but the only downfall with it is performance. So again, overspray. For me it works. And hey, you know, as much as you can say, oh, it's the fragrance itself is not long lasting, overspraying's not going to work. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but it works for me, so it's worth a try. Just spray it on your hair, on your neck, on your sweater, on your top, wherever. And people smell me when I walk into my office. The moment that I walk into the office, people smell me. So the overspraying thing does work for me for fragrances that lack performance, and I'm really sorry for people for whom it doesn't work for, because that is really unfortunate. But definitely worth a try to overspray. And if you don't want to shell out the big bucks for Bal d'Afrique, because it is a pricey one, there's an oil alternative that I can link below for you guys. I have you covered on all levels. So that is it. Those are my top 5 fragrances for spring. This is the niche edition. I'll do designer fragrances separately, but I wanted to share some of my favorite niche fragrances because I've honestly been reaching for them so much lately. They are my like top of the top of the top. So these are the ones, and make sure that you guys leave me a comment down below and let me know which fragrances you've been reaching for. Which fragrances are you guys excited to wear in the spring? I'm so happy spring is finally here. So yeah, let me know what you guys are wearing and I'll definitely be checking it out. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you guys haven't already. We do lots of fun fragrance things on this channel. So hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.